Hey guys, Two-Face here, and on today's video, I got a little bit of a special thing going for you. I got another new series going, or at least a mini-series. Basically, I'm in this racing team called CTR, and we do regular competitions together or whatever. That's kind of up in the air right now, but that's irrelevant. Anyways, people always ask me what CTR is, so I felt like I should finally answer the question, and what better way to answer the question than to introduce you to everyone who's in CTR. So we're going in chronological order, in order of member joining, and the first member to join / the co-founder of CTR is here with us today. It's OwlPlague. Say hi, Owl.
Hey everyone.
How you doing today, bud?
Doing really well. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, early shout out here again, because I like to do them early in the videos, but OwlPlague does have a YouTube as well that I will be putting in the description, so go check it out. They do like a bunch of really cool stuff. They play like a game show over there called Kick or Clutch, where people have to submit tracks, and if it's a good track, they get to stay in the lobby, and if it's a bad track, they get kicked out of the lobby. Oh man.
A lot of fun, yep.
Yeah, Al and I have known each other for quite some time. Basically, you wanna tell them how CTR started, since I've been doing all the talking?
Yeah, sure. So it started off one night I was playing this, and Zed Shep was in a lobby with me, and we were just talking about what music we listen to when we play. And I named something that I had really doubted anyone else would even know about that played this game. I was like, oh yeah, I'm just listening to some Old Man Gloom, and Zed's like, oh yeah, I really like them, and I'm like, oh, this guy's cool. And I think he thought the same thing about me, and so we just hit it off at that point. And after that, he was like, oh, you should join VC. Me and Two-Face are chilling in VC, and at that time for me, like I wasn't really used to like being in like VC and like gaming with people and stuff. That like just wasn't my thing. And so I joined in, and it was like I was like really nervous about it. And but Two-Face and Zed were super cool, and like we kind of just all hit it off like pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we're like all naturally metalheads, so it was really easy for us to kind of just talk about nothing a lot if we needed to. Yeah. So it's a really comfy environment when you have a similar interest and can kind of bounce things off of each other, for sure. But yeah, no, it was really cool. Met Al pretty early, like maybe within the first month of playing this game.
Yeah, it's about the same for me too.
Yeah, so we've been playing together like since we basically, before we were even good at this game, that's for sure. Like, yeah. Our skills, we've sat in Discord and discussed skills and like what we are theorizing to be like better methods for things for like hours like of our lives at this point. It's insane.
Yeah. You know, just and over time, the amount of like Discord calls and how often we would play just kind of like picked up more and more.
Right. And
I think like one afternoon I saw a post somewhere, and they're like, oh, we're gonna have a Zapkiss team tournament. If you want to have a team, you know, submit, join this Discord, and you know, submit your players that you're gonna have on your team here. And so the first thing that came to mind immediately was like, oh, we should definitely have one with Calamity and, you know, Two-Face and Zed and me and Lupins. And then you got back to me. You're like, yeah, that sounds really cool.
I think I literally made the team, or no, I think I made the chat like maybe like a second after you sent me that. I was just like, yeah, good idea, done. Like,
yeah,
it was insane.
Back when the team was small enough that we could have it in a Discord group DM.
Oh yeah, because Discord groups only limit it to like 10 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that when we had to change to like a different communication method that was a little jarring for me, but that was also around the same time that we stopped recruiting, and I think that may have been one of the causes of us like calling recruiting off. Was I was like, okay, it's getting to the point where it's a little bit harder to manage.
Yeah, and we had the first competition, and something came up, and Lupins couldn't be in the competition as planned, and so we had to, I think it was like the second week that he couldn't be in it, and so we had to have a sub for the competition. And another group of people that, you know, I'd play with time to time was Bambi and Nathwalt, and that started off in like a real funny way. Like, I think they were like just trying to troll me, and they're like,
that sounds on brand.
Yeah, right. They're like, Owl, we love you. And I was like, I love you too. And he's like, you're cool.
Yeah, no, they're cool as long as you're like willing to joke with them. That's what I love about those two. Like, if you're just gonna sit there and like joke with their jokes, then you're an all right guy in their book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
so, you know, naturally, having them, because they were like, you know, after like, you know, you and Zed, they were like my other, like, you know, best friends in the game.
Right.
And so, you know, as CTR was expanding, they were naturally the you know, the next choices, especially, you know, with their caliber of gameplay that they both have as well.
Oh yeah, I didn't know,
you know,
either of them at all. In fact, I didn't know that they even like knew each other at all.
I didn't know that either.
Because when they came to CTR, it was like almost a package deal. Like, we got Bambi, and then like right after, we basically picked up Nath, because they just hang out so much that it's like, well, he's here all the time, he's a good racer, whatever.
Yeah.
Really though, the best part about CTR, I think, is that we're all just homies more than like super competitive and bro chads all the time together, you know? Like, we just chill.
We want to do well, and we want to find, you know, like cuts and, you know, be really fast, but it's really just about hanging out and having a good time with each other.
There's definitely some sweaty people in CTR and some not sweaty people in CTR. And there's like some in between as well, but like there are definitely people who take competition like a lot more seriously than others in the team, for sure.
Yeah. I think like the friends first, you know, mentality though is, you know, something that like really makes us like stronger. And
I agree. The fact that we're all just derived out of a friends group is what keeps it great. I think that's why when people ask like how they get into CTR or like what the requirements are for CTR, it's why it's so difficult for me. It's because we've always done our recruiting through like, you know, like means of like, well, how well do you like fit in with the group, and are you already like an established friend with us, or like have you taken the time to become an established friend with us? And it's like that's almost a little bit of an unfair judgment, I'll admit to that, but like at the same time, we're already all so tight knit that like having someone that wasn't like that already would be really awkward.
Yeah, it's a really like organic process that we like, use to like build the group and maintain it.
I would say we didn't even really build this group as much as this group built itself, you know? is how I would describe it. I wouldn't say that we necessarily made a conscious effort on every single person to be like, oh, I want them in this group really badly. It was just they were already in our social circles and we were hanging out with them, you know, like. Yeah.
Like, I think we'd both say that like we had no idea it would ever grow into like, you know, what it has today. That's always like kind of like mind-blowing to me.
Definitely. I'm going around this room right now, and I would just like to call out how much of a sleeper level I feel like this level is. There's a lot of effort put into the decorations of this level that you don't see. It's actually an entire arcade. There's even a car outside over here, and I am like this. I'm not flying slowly right now. It's just so big that getting out here to see the cars and the trees that Owl intentionally put out here to be a backdrop through this glass door is interesting. And then there's Ronan over there, and I don't know who that is because it's just red with a heart. Oh no, that's red with eyes and a heart. Who had the eyes? I know Bambi had these green eyes.
Oh, that's me. That's me with eyes.
Are you red with eyes? Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's Nath from the back, and I don't know who had the pumpkin head. I was there earlier.
Zed.
You saw me. Was it Zed?
Yeah, Zed had the pumpkin. Yeah.
Zed's changed so much since then. It's never consistent, but it's fine. I have my classic on right now, the one that I feel like I'm known best for, but I may change it soon. I've changed it in some of my earlier videos. I had a different skin because I was so convinced that having a gray skin would make it like easier to Photoshop, and I'm like, well, you know, I'm not putting my own guy in my thumbnails anyway. Like, I'm not putting my Zepka's character in thumbnails. I'm using what I think fits best with the scene in most cases, so it's not relevant. So I just went back to what I used to have.
Or artistic choices.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
This track, me and Al have played for like literally, like when we started playing together, I was like, what's your favorite track, basically, and he said this one. He's like, legit, this is my favorite track and I can't even finish it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so we just sat here and grinded on it, and he definitely got finishes on this a lot earlier than I got finishes on this. Took me a lot longer to learn the line, and sometimes I still DNF it. It's not an easy track. It's all wood and sand, and different frictions.
Yep, really, like there's some like real janky like connections and transitions.
Yep, like that wall ride.
This one has like a pretty large like sentimental value for me, you know, within the game, because when I played adventure mode for like 2 weeks before I started playing in the online multiplayer lobbies. I was like, I don't think I'm ready for that. And when I did finally jump into online multiplayer lobbies, I think this was like the 3rd level that came up, and my skill level was nowhere near being able to complete this.
Oh yeah, for sure. We were definitely playing this before we had the skills to play it, for sure.
Yeah.
Long before we had the skills to play it. Like, I'm gonna get a finish here. It's not a good one, but it's gonna be a finish nonetheless. I slowed down on that turn pretty bad. After the
sand turn through the rocks.
The sand turn through the rocks, yeah. Right at the beginning of it, because I got a bad landing from the previous element.
I did the same thing.
But yeah, I usually do practice rounds with everyone before I record these, and I did not finish this in our practice round, so I'm happy I have a finish on it now.
Nice.
Oh man. This is definitely a concentration track for sure.
Yeah.
Such nostalgia, much wow. Oh man. Face plant. But yeah, so yeah, that's basically it. Al messaged me and was like, hey, I want to start a team. So I was like, okay, that sounds sick. We'll start it. And then I made a group chat. We immediately invited Zed and Lupins. I mean, I didn't really ask anyone. I didn't ask Owl even. I just invited the peeps, you know?
Yeah.
And that was kind of just our like initial little team, and it was just me, Owl, Zed, and Lupins were the first 4. That's all you needed for the comp that we were in was 4 people.
And Bambi was our sub, like a last minute like addition.
I didn't even know who Bambi was like at all when you were like, oh yeah, Bambi's sick. I'm like, oh okay, Bambi's a cool guy. All right, sweet. And then I went to his Steam account, and he had this weird, he still has it, I'm pretty sure, and I'm totally outing him on it right now.
I was wondering if you were gonna bring this up.
He has this weird like Donald Trump background on his Steam, and I'm like, this guy seems really politically charged. I'm not sure I want to bring someone like that into the group. And then I messaged him, we started hanging out, and he was like way cooler of a dude than I expected. He's just a massive troll. So it was cool, but like at the beginning I was like really nervous to talk to him. It was hilarious.
Just casually dropped a world record on this level.
Dang,
now.
107. We got that on recording too. You saw it here, folks. This track has been out since like V7 or something. It's been around for so long.
Yeah.
Dang. I mean, I guess the world record mod isn't, like, you know, crazy up to date. Like, if someone had put a better time down on this before, we wouldn't know. But nonetheless,
in V9,
as yeah.
V9 out of 107.4, I was a record holder then,
Dang.
too. Yeah.
So you need to get to that 0.4 status.
I just improved it by like 0.8 or something like that.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
well played, dude. Thanks for joining me in the video, man.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, for real. I had a great time. That's all we got time for today, folks. I'll have his information down in the description, and ask any questions you want to ask in the comments, and I'll be happy to ask them. But I'll catch you later, guys. Bye.